Hi, I'm Hope Warren, Director of the University of Georgia Cobb County Cooperative Extension, and I'm here today with Debbie Abernathy. Debbie Abernathy is a Cobb County Extension Master Gardener volunteer, and I've asked her to come and talk to us about the Cobb Community Gardens. Hi Debbie, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Hope. I'm happy to be here today.
Great, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Do you mind telling me a little bit about what the Cobb Community Gardens is?
Yes. It's actually a collaborative effort between Master Gardener Volunteers of Cobb County, the UGA Cobb County Cooperative Extension Service, and any group or entity that's a supporting organization for community gardens. In Cobb County, we have quite a few community gardens, but the emphasis and growth in the movement, it seems, has just been recently.
It really has.
It has just been wonderful to see, but it has really put a spotlight on the need. We have a lot more people that want to join and participate in a community garden than we have community gardens. So in late 2014, actually in October, we went ahead and got together with Extension and with the Master Gardeners and formed this organization to help really grow new community gardens and support the existing ones.
Well, that sounds like a great idea that y'all came up with, and I hear it's very successful.
So far, so good.
Could you tell me who might be interested in participating in this type of organization?
Sure. To be, sort of broad, virtually anybody could be interested in learning more about community gardens. But some of the key folks I see joining our organization and supporting it would be people that help coordinate a community garden or manage a community garden. Could be a supporting organization or a government entity that wants to see more community gardens, such as Parks and Recreation and Cultural Affairs. It could be Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts that want to have community service hours or want to do Eagle Scout projects. It could be people that are thinking, gosh, I'd really like to join a community garden, but I'm not really sure it's my cup of tea. How am I going to learn more about this? So we started out thinking it would be a tight group of people that manage community gardens, and we've been excited to see that it has a lot more opportunity for people to become involved in just a variety of ways.
That sounds great. And you mentioned several different organizations, several different government agencies, but can you tell me a little bit more about some of the members of this particular Cobb Community Gardens?
Yes.
And some of the different things that they do, and maybe if you don't mind sharing some of their locations?
Sure. The current members, we probably have around 58 either individuals or groups that subscribe to our email e-newsletter, which is really the way we're communicating now.
That's a good number.
We're working on a website, and it's sort of under construction, so that'll be our other way of communicating. The folks that we have right now, we do have Cobb County Parks and Rec. We have Keep Smyrna Beautiful. We have a representative from our regional Boy Scouts. We have a representative regionally from the Girl Scouts. We have the coordinators for gardens. All of the gardens in our community right now that have a master gardener that coordinates the garden, the community garden, they're already members. We have an exciting opportunity with a new group that came to our last meeting that's starting a garden in downtown Marietta with a very special purpose for folks that work through issues in the court system.
Yes.
So we're just excited to see the energy of people understanding that a community garden is so much more than growing vegetables or flowers or whatever your gardening choice is. It's a lot about coming together as a community and in some cases helping people heal through things. So we're excited about that. We have people that are just interested in general about community gardens, and it doesn't have to be a vegetable or food production garden. We have a member who is coordinates a garden that's along a roadside, which is really cool because they've seen since they started the garden a real decrease in the amount of litter and sort of disrespect to the roadway because they've created something of beauty. So
It's amazing, isn't it, what that can do?
It's really something to see.
It's interesting to watch these community gardens grow because a lot of times they start out a little small,
Yes.
and then over time, because of demand, they get larger and larger. And there is a demand for community gardens in Cobb County. There's various reasons why people like to do it. Do you mind sharing with us some of the reasons that you've come across?
Yes, yes. In fact, you sort of brought back memories when you were talking about growing a community garden. The community garden that I helped coordinate, we started in 2009 with 3 little bitty squares. I mean little bitty, 4 by 4. And a couple of us that knew less than the square footage of the garden as far as what to do. And we grew that now. We have 70 gardening beds. Some are communal, shared by a group of us. Most are individual beds. And it's families around the garden that have leased that space to grow vegetables. And we have about 40 families that participate. And one of the things we do at our garden, which is Crossroads Community Garden in East Cobb, is we request that our members give 10% of their produce to local food pantries.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
about 10 of our plots that are the very first ones that we did, 100% of that goes to food pantries. So we help the Center for Family Resources Food Pantry, Muss Ministries, and also a sister church, which is First Christian in Marietta. And all summer long, we bring fresh
They
vegetables.
get all that fresh produce.
I know. And we came at that, I think an important thing for community gardens to remember is to, think big, start small, because if you just do everything all at once, it's on the edge of overwhelming and people can get discouraged. But by slowly building your base of support and interest and financing, then you're really able to build that community and share. And it's a whole lot more than the gardening. I mean, the things that you learn about people as you work shoulder to shoulder, digging in the dirt and harvesting and dealing with pests, and you see the good.
Well, it kind of speaks for itself. You're calling it
Yes.
a community garden because it really brings the community
does.
together.
It really does.
And you're learning, you're getting a lot of education there. You have an opportunity to bring your children in, your grandchildren
Yes.
in. I know that some community gardens, they have church children come in, they have school children that come in and do lessons. So there's a lot of opportunity there.
Absolutely.
Going back to the Cobb Community Gardens, can you tell me a little bit about you do have speakers that come in, correct,
Yes,
at your meetings.
yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that, but also tell me when and where you all meet?
Okay. Yes, we just meet quarterly right now. Our next meeting happens to be on tax day, so that'll be easy to remember. And we will be having a speaker from Foodwell Alliance, which is a new group that's going to be giving grants to community gardens. We're very excited to hear
Oh,
about their
yes.
presence. We've had Bobby Wilson, who is the immediate past president of American Community Garden Association, speak to us. So we have these meetings in the evening at the Water Quality Lab on South Cobb Drive in a training room. It's open to anybody who is interested. They usually last from 6:30 to 8, and we just share a lot of ideas. And really, that is more of a focus of education at those meetings. But our group is organizing so that we can begin doing some fundraising and helping start new community gardens and really support the ones that are already there. So we feel like we're into our next phase of growth,
Right.
which is really asking for community support for what we do.
Well, you mentioned fundraising.
Yes.
Could you kind of tell me a little bit about what you're looking at with fundraising?
Sure.
What's the purpose of your fundraising?
Yes.
How people can contribute, whether they want to do it monetarily or through their time? Tell me a little bit about
Yeah.
that.
When you think about what we're doing, we don't really have any other organization in our community that allows us to sort of pinpoint community gardens as an activity. So Cobb Community Gardens hopes to fill that void. We're working now on our 501c3 status. We have just elected our first group of officers. We're doing like every organization, coming out
Right.
with our bylaws and organizational
Great.
plan. But we really feel like the community can greatly benefit from what we do at Cobb Community Gardens. There are a lot of people out there. There are a lot of businesses that want to have an activity, a team building activity. You know, what better thing than to get your team involved in a community garden to come out there and help with those activity days.
Right.
And also to help sponsor us financially. It's very difficult to start up a community garden. You think, oh God, people can just join and they pay a fee, and you know, how hard can that be? Well, you know, the infrastructure of finding water sources and getting that there for irrigation, sometimes clearing some land, finding people that will let you use the land, amending the soil, getting the right ingredients there, fertilizing. You know, there's a lot of activity, heavy machinery that's needed. Those are all financial needs. And that first 3 years of a community garden in particular, those startups need that financial support. But besides financial support, in-kind support is fabulous. I mean, we have a wonderful community here. They just want to know how to help. If we have people that can give us soil amendments, tractors for plowing and the time and the person that can do that, if we have folks that want to give irrigation supplies and do the installation for us, fencing. I mean, there's tons of opportunities.
Can get quite expensive.
It can. But you know, people, lots of times they just want to help. I mean, even gently used garden tools, these are all things that our gardens can use. And now, since we're an umbrella organization for them, we can help make that happen. So it's a great time.
When you have several different organizations pitching in, companies pitching in, it cuts back on the cost for everybody. It really helps eliminate a lot of that. I have to say, I watched one community garden particularly build from ground zero. And it was just inspiring to see the different individuals coming out and building the, you know, putting the boards together to make each plot, and the bulldozer and hauling the dirt around, and then watching people plant their gardens, watching it grow, and then participate in like a family day out there, a picnic and all that. And it's so comforting to see that kind of stuff going on. And extend that education and that opportunity to people. How many community gardens do you think are around Cobb County? I know we don't know all of them, but if, you know.
I'd say we probably have somewhere around 20, probably, if you were to take the ones that we definitely know about and some that we've heard about that are just, you know, sort of nestled in a neighborhood, just for the people in that subdivision, for example. And a few that are just starting. So they're not truly, you know, truly there yet, but they are in the planning phases. So I'm sure that there are many others that we just simply don't know about.
Hopefully we'll reach some of them through this program. So Cobb Community Gardens' goal is basically to bring all of these gardeners together, share information about establishing, maintaining, giving the opportunity. I know that at one time you even told me that you all were going to share tools and stuff if you had to, just whatever you needed to do to help each other and make it work and to grow this for the community.
Right, because our goal is to promote and support community gardening. You know, that's why we're here. So if it means raising money to do that, if it means sharing tools, if it means having a central warehouse where people can come and get things to borrow them, that's one really cool thing about community gardeners. They really want to help each other. I mean, it's more about just your small garden. They really get it. You know, they know that the community garden is just part of a larger community garden. A lot of give and take. So it's exciting to see this, and it's also exciting to see young families join. We have a lot in our particular garden that I get to see the children who, you know, it's hard. You don't know where things come from in the grocery store. You just see them in the grocery store, and to watch their faces when they come up there and realize that what an okra plant looks like and that it's pretty tall and it's got some nice flowers. You know, we've just seen a lot of family interaction and closing of cell phones and putting them away, and actually conversations in the garden. So it's more than just the people that are members of the garden that benefit from it. It's a very cool thing.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to pick the tomato out of the grocery store. You actually pick the tomato out of the garden.
Exactly.
And that connection, making that connection with the younger generation is very important.
I think it is very important. They don't have an opportunity. We don't live in a rural agrarian community. So seeing things grow, It's pretty exciting.
Agriculture is still very important.
Yes.
Whether you don't have the large farms or you're doing small community garden,
Right.
agriculture is very key.
Yes.
Well, if you don't mind, tell us how, if someone is interested in
Yes.
this, how they can get in touch with you in
Okay.
order to get involved, make a donation or spend some
Yes,
time.
yes. info@cobbcommunitygardens.org is a way to get in touch with us. But I would say the easiest way right now, is we're still developing our website, is just contact me by email.
Okay.
And that way I'd be happy to give you any information that you want, tell you about community gardens near you, how you could help if you want to make a contribution, just different ways that you can connect with us. And so that would be Debbie, DEBBIE at esmithair.com. So that's ESMITHAIR.com. And if you just say I'm inquiring about community gardens, I'll be happy to give you any information that you'd like and tell you different ways that you can support Cobb Community Gardens.
That sounds great. Also, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to wrap it up, and I just want to say that if you ever have any questions about anything to do with your home, your garden, or your children, please give us a call at 770-528-4070. Thank you so much.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until the
No secret that laughter makes you smile.
reliable sources say that chicken soup has found their way out of this year. Dangerous, but it will be safe until they are returned.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Thank you so much for joining us again. I wanted to give you a little information about our 4-H camps that are coming up this summer, so you'll know what we're going to be out there doing for the summer fun. Our first camp is junior camp, and it is for the 7th and 8th graders. It is going to be June the 15th through the 19th at Fortson 4-H Center. The other camp is Cloverleaf Summer Camp. This is for current 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. It is July the 6th through the 10th, and it's at Burton 4-H Center in Tybee Island. Another one is Wilderness Challenge Camp. It is for current 6th through 8th graders. It will be July the 6th through the 10th at Wasiga 4-H Center. And the last one is Marine Resources Camp, and it is for 6th to 8th graders. It is July the 20th through the 24th, and this is also at Burton 4-H Center on Tybee Island. Another activity that we have coming up is going to be on April the 7th, and it is our Cobb Extension Open House. It starts at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We will have a lot of exhibits set up in our office training room. You can come in and you can go through and see what we're about, the things that we do. If you have a plant that you need to have identified or you're having a problem with it, you can bring it in. We'll have a horticulturist and we'll have master gardeners present that day that can help you and talk to you, and we'll be excited to see you there. So I hope you can join us. If you have any questions about our camps, again, you can call our office at 770-528-4070. Thank you very much.
land-grant university system was created to advance agricultural and mechanical sciences 150 plus years ago. And we realized that some of the research that was coming from out of the land grants, it was not reaching the people. So the Smith-Lever Act was passed 100 years ago. The purpose of that act was to create the Cooperative Extension Service, which was to take the research that was created by the land-grant universities and actually give it to the people who could use it.
And so that was the genesis for the creation of the Extension Service, or the Cooperative Extension Service, as it was called at that time. It was to take the research-based information from the university, from that land-grant school, and get it to the people who need it so that they could use it to improve their lives, their economy, and to improve agriculture.
Well, I lived on a farm until I went off to be in the Navy and to go to college. And my father was a very fine and aggressive farmer. And of course, the source of our advice when Daddy wanted to do something better or learn about a new species of peanut or cotton or corn was to go to the Extension Service. And they gave him whatever advice he needed. And it was just like a constant source of inspiration and advice and counsel, and sometimes correction when he was doing something wrong. And as I grew older and when I came back from the Navy and spent the next 17 years as a full-time farmer, I saw firsthand the great value of what the Extension Service offered to everyone in our county, not just farmers, but everybody in the merchants and others who did business with farmers and depended on agricultural income.
My earliest experience with the Cooperative Extension Service came as a result of joining the 4-H Club when I was probably in a middle school age group. They encouraged us to participate in competitions, and we had to learn our various project areas and make presentations in the local and the district competitions. And also, I began to show livestock as a part of my 4-H project and continued to do that for a number of years. So the Cooperative Extension Service and its supervision of 4-H was an important part of my younger years.
I serve Fulton County. It's a large county. We don't have that many farmers, but we have a lot of people. And we have a lot of families that just simply need help. So Extension brings that human touch to our community. We answer the questions directly. We give it to you in a manner that you can understand and you can use, and you can apply it immediately. So Extension is kind of like that friend next door. You may not talk to them every day, but you're really glad that they're there.
One of the advantages that we have is that we're always on the cutting edge of the newest information, the newest research that's coming out of the University of Georgia. And we are a direct source that our clients can come to find that information. We're a filter for that information, and we are able to explain it in a way that people can use it for practical everyday application, whether it's on the farm, in their families, or in their communities.
An increasingly important element of Georgia's and America's total production of food will have to be designed toward meeting the needs of our own country and other nations more than it has been in the past. So I think the gamut of influence of Extension Service, I don't think has been minimized in recent modern days, but I think the opportunities to expand their influence has been greatly increased now, and I believe in the future.
I think the future for cooperative extension across the nation is very strong, and I know in our state it is.
The simple problems in agriculture have been solved, and they've been solved for the last 100 years or so. Only complex problems remain. Our researchers on our land-grant universities working in multidisciplinary teams will provide solutions for these complex and complicated problems. But how you transfer that information back to the farmer, back to the agribusiness, back to the family or the youth development specialists through 4-H is going to be very different. That's where cooperative extension has always been good. That's what their strength is, and that's where we see them being so important in the future.
We're continuing to see evolution in the production of agricultural products, and I expect that to continue. We will probably have fewer farms, but larger farms. And the Cooperative Extension Service certainly has a role to play in that new structure. They've adapted very well to the changing circumstances and the changing economy of our country over the last 100 years, and I have every reason to believe that they will continue to do that here in Georgia for the next 100 years.
The most rewarding part of my job is being able to help people and provide current research-based information for our clients. They come to us over and over for that information because they see us as the #1 source of information that they can rely upon, whether it's for their farm, their agribusiness, or for their families.
Real life changes. Extension brings real life changes, and being that agent in the community on the ground, being that agent to serve is a pretty miraculous thing.
In all the ways that I had an early developmental life in earning a living and learning how to live as a productive citizen, I would say the Extension Service had a major beneficial effect on me.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextsstopwrecks.org.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna be good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on line.
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
They might surprise you.
She took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.